Here's how to repair or replace your turn signal indicator switch in a Toyota or a Lexus. The first thing I'm going to do is tilt the wheel all the way up and remove this plastic piece. Next I'm going to remove this Phillips screw at the bottom of the steering wheel. Next I'm going to turn the steering wheel a little bit to the left, exposing this screw, which I can remove. Then I'm going to turn the steering wheel to the right and remove this screw over here. And gently pry this out. Lower the steering wheel and remove the top cover also. Like over on the driver's side, I'm going to remove these two Phillips screws that hold the switch in. And I'm going to remove the switch from the housing and disconnect the electrical clip. Now, depending on what's wrong with the switch, you can either replace the whole switch with one with a fog light option, or you can open it up and clean the contacts. Just pry off this cover at the back here and remove these two screws. And I'm just going to pry this panel off, remove it from these clips, and these are the contacts on the switch. The way this turn signal switch works is when you move the lever, this contact here makes contact on these pads right here, which in turn will turn the signals on. And what you can do is use a little bit of electrical contact cleaner and some sandpaper and clean up these worn terminals. As you can see, mine has been worn down, so I've added a drop of solder here to build up for electrical contact. Now that everything's nice and cleaned up, I'm just going to put this switch back together and then replace these two screws. And then replace this plastic cover, snaps right in. To replace the switch, I'm just going to reconnect the electrical connection and then replace this back into the housing. And I'm going to replace these two screws. To replace the windshield wiper stock, we're just going to remove two screws here. I'm going to go ahead and pull out the windshield wiper stock and disconnect the electrical connector at the bottom. Again, if the switch is giving trouble, you can open it up and use some contact cleaner to clean it up. Mine is working fine. You can actually replace these though with one with a misting function, and it should be electrically compatible with the car. I'm going to go ahead and plug in the electrical connector and reinstall the windshield wiper switch, and then put in two screws. Next I'm going to replace this plastic cover on the top. And I'm going to tilt the steering wheel up and replace the bottom cover. And I'm going to replace this one screw at the bottom here. I'm going to turn the steering wheel to the left and replace this Phillips screw at the bottom here. And I'm going to turn the steering wheel to the right and replace one Phillips screw over here. I'm going to replace this plastic piece right here. Finally, I'm going to make sure that all of the switches function correctly.